Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Allison the Crocheter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 118 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crocheting podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter, Allison. I'm recording from my home in Michigan.
And I'm recording from my new home here in Scotland. You might also know me as the publisher of Merit, the independent crochet magazine. And my mom is the lovely maker behind Pearl and Plum, where she makes project bags for knitters and crocheters. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're listening on a podcast app or watching along on YouTube. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I just realized my cabinet's open. Let me close it.
Meanwhile, I'm in my new space. It's for any viewers, it's very uninspiring at the moment. There's a wooden door behind me and white walls and a few things.
It's a nice looking door, though.
Yeah,
it looks very sturdy.
It's very light.
Like it's really,
yeah.
Oh, okay. It looks sturdy.
Wood, very light. And I tried to angle my camera so that you could see I had more stuff behind me instead of just the blank walls. I have an Edinburgh press, so a built-in bookshelf, which has all my mostly craft books and some supplies on it. But because it's sort of like in the corner of the room, and then my desk is right now butted up against it, there wasn't really a good angle. So I'll sort it out at some point. But you know, this room is just at the moment full of boxes, and there's still a bed in here, and yeah. Not too bad. My craft room / office.
Yeah, my setup is I have a tall tripod for my recording device, and then I have a stool where the iPad that I'm FaceTiming you off of is sitting on its own stand, and then my laptop is under it where I can see the notes. So, and then I have another stool where my microphone is standing on. So it's not very pretty. Uh-huh. But you can't see any of it. It's just like, yeah. We do what we can.
Yep. Cool. Will we jump into our crafty content?
Yeah, let's jump right in. You can go first since yours is just
the one. Oh my god. You have, yeah. All right. Archive Cal project. The Archive Cal goes until May 1st. And I am working on Bonny Puffin, which is in the Pika Pow collection of book. It's in the first book. I think there's 3 of them now. And this is how much of a puffin I have.
That's so cute.
It is so cute. So basically I have her whole head and neck. So I got to sew on her beak and her little cheeks and her eyes and her neck, which is like, looks like the geometric patterned cowl, but it's just, you know, tapestry crochet right onto the neck. Although I did see somebody on Ravelry had made it as a separate like accessory, so it wasn't part of the neck, but like a separate piece that was put on top. But I like it as like it's I don't know. There's just something quirky about having like their I don't know, they're like clothes as part of them. So it's like, is it clothes or is it just like an extra weird feature, quirky feature?
I like how you did the eyes.
Yeah, so the
eyebrows.
The little eyelashes.
Eyebrows, no eyelashes.
Yeah. So the pattern calls for safety eyes, and then you do the embroidered like just a little line as like the eyelash, because it is Bonny Puffin. She's supposed to be a girl puffin. so she has some eyelashes, obviously. But because this is going to baby, I didn't want to put the safety eyes on it, so I embroidered the eyes on. And I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get them symmetrical, and they aren't exactly symmetrical, but I think I did a pretty good job.
I think it looks great.
It looks cute, and it's, you know, symmetrical enough to look, you know, nice. And I will say the instructions for sewing on the beak, well, the instructions in the book for sewing on extra pieces, I didn't know if I did it right, but it's the best I've ever sewn on a piece to an amigurumi. Like, I've always struggled with it. And the author, she does acknowledge, she said, like, I don't think I've ever met a crocheter who enjoys sewing things together, but so yeah, I managed that, and that's sewn on nice. And the little cheeks, I definitely made 3 of these little cheek circles because I lost one somewhere, probably in a bag somewhere. So I just did another one real quick to put on her cheek. And on her backside, she has a little weird tail thing at the moment.
Is that a tail?
I mean, it's going to be. So essentially, that will start growing out. So she kind of has like a butt.
Oh, I see.
So because I just have the head and the neck, and then her body, extends out behind
It's
her.
gonna grow out of
And
that.
so at the moment, that's literally just the first row. So it's just like this weird little nubbin tail at the back. But because I had, so it's just on a spiral. But obviously working a spiral with the tapestry crochet pattern, I always really, really struggle with that when there's a pattern in a spiral, because it's like when you do your first and your last stitch of a row, it's kind of like the first stitch is it mushes together. So I can never figure out how I should be doing the color work for the beginning of the row, because you can't. It doesn't match up. So I started doing it, and I just thought this isn't right. So I undid it, and I've done it so that I've got joined rows. So like where I
Oh yeah.
I did I think in Murat magazine we've called it a invisible join, where you've done your last stitch of a round, you take out your hook from the loop, and then you insert the hook through the first stitch of your round, but from back to front, instead of, because normally you'd work front to back to front, and then you grab the loop that you've just taken off and you pull it through, and then from there you can just then work your next round, and then you're working so you've closed the round instead of working in a complete spiral, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense.
It does. So I mean, it's on the back side where the invisible join is, and I can see it, and you might be able to see it, but it's pretty good. So I just did that for the tapestry, and now I'm working in a spiral again. But I don't know if doing that, I don't see why it would have, or if I just somewhere else accidentally offset myself. So when I first did the little nubbin, I didn't know what it was supposed to be. I'm like, is this like part of the wing? It wasn't centered on the back. And then when I was reading forward, I was like, oh, that's supposed to be part of her body. So it needs to be centered right, dead on the back. So I just had to fudge it a little bit. But yeah, it's just so super cute.
So the hat is done separately.
The hat is a separate piece,
and then stuck on. So do you sew that on, or no? Because it doesn't look like it would stay on.
Oh, because like the puffin's head is kind of flat.
Yeah.
The hat is maybe. I don't look that far. I mean, to be honest, she looks cute without the hat as well. So
you know what would be really cute is if you made little ear flap hats.
Yeah. But yeah, just really cute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you're working on a small piece, and you may feel like you didn't do a lot, but you did, because the sewing, that takes a lot of time. Like sewing the beak on.
Yeah, I think I did. I haven't done
on.
a lot since the last episode, but I've done quite a lot in the last 2 days. Also, I'm having some problem with my thumb. I don't think it was. I mean, maybe it was caused by the crochet, but I hadn't been crocheting that much, and then it started, but just clicking funny, and it's a bit sore in the morning.
Is it from your computer, maybe?
I didn't know. It happened. I noticed it after painting.
Oh yeah, it could be from the painting.
Just gripping the roller really hard. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Sushi. She just jumped onto the table behind me.
So I haven't been crocheting a lot because of that as well.
Okay. Well, I haven't been knitting a lot in the last few days because we lost power.
Oh yeah.
For, was it 16 hours? So overnight. The next day. So it was very, very wet snow. So the underneath, the first layer was slush, and then it was crystally ice, and then snow. So that's really hard to shovel / snowblow because it's heavy, and the snowblower doesn't really like it. It just kind of spits out the snow just like right in front of the
Uh-huh.
snowblower.
Yeah.
So of course your father wasn't home, and he was actually in Europe. So it took me a long time to finish out, and then like the flat part of the driveway was okay, but then at the bottom of the driveway where the snow plows plow you in, there's always, it's like higher than the snow blower, so
Mm-hmm.
that took a lot of strength, and also like a wheel fell off, and then I had to like put it back on, and then the other tire separated from the wheel, and I had so. And then my neighbors, they have electric snowblowers, and they ran out of charge, so I went over and I finished them off
Oh.
for you
Mm-hmm.
finish it. So anyway, so that was Saturday morning. By Sunday, I was in so much pain. I couldn't
Oh.
knit. Like my
Uh-huh.
hands were sore, my arms were sore, my shoulders, my back, everything was just like, it wasn't just sore. It was like I was in a lot of pain. So the last few
Mm.
days I haven't really gotten that much done, but thankfully I did do a lot beforehand. So my first whip is my hand in hand vest for my
Mm-hmm.
archive gal,
Yep.
and that is this by Kathy Zimmerman in my Interweave Summer 2007. So the back is done. It was almost done last time. It was like up to here or something like
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's all done, the back. And so this is a, for our audio listeners, it's a cabled, bulky weight man's vest. So there's lots of cables. It's very heavy.
Mm.
And I started the front, but I haven't really gotten that far because I kept making mistakes. Because I insisted on working on this in front of the TV, and I kept like cabling the cables the wrong way, and then like finding out later, and then you have to drop down and you pick it up, and the yarn can be a little. It's not splitty when you're working on the new yarn, but when you're dropping down like just stitches, it can be a little splitty when you're picking it back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little bit of trouble with that, and there was like 3 different places where I had to rework the cables. And when I was done, I was like, maybe I should have just frogged it all the way. It probably would have I would have spent just as much time if I frogged it all the way down and then picked it up. But anyway, so I only have what, maybe 4 inches, 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 inches
Mm-hmm.
up on the front. So not a lot of progress, but more, I guess. I mean, in all, yeah, the last 2 weeks I did finish
Yeah.
the back and
Uh-huh.
start this. So that's that. The other archive project, I took it out of the needles. I haven't ripped it out yet because this was the Traquair Hat
Mm-hmm.
that was in the
Oh, the
UIF
herringbone
booklet,
stitch.
the herringbone.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks great, but I'm not enjoying it. It's
Mm.
just, I like to enjoy my knitting, and it was just too fussy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Totally.
was like, well, I'm not even making this for myself, so why am I even bothering? Nobody else will appreciate this. So I've decided to just frog it because
Forget about it.
it wasn't worth it. It's a
Mm.
beautiful hat, but I just can't work on it. That's that. But I did start a new hat.
Another art for the archive cow, or
No, this one is not for the archive cow. This one is called the Dynamic Wave Hat,
mm-hmm.
and it's by Marley Bird.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very new pattern. It came out December of last year, and it is done with slip stitches. So I guess it could be considered. I'm not sure if it could be considered mosaic, but the color, you're only working on one color at a time in each row, in each round, I mean,
Yeah, it
and you
looks
just
like
slip the
colorwork.
stitches. Hi, Sushi. She just tried to pat me. No, you can't jump here. You're gonna mess up my setup. And I am using, what am I using? I am using leftover yarn from stuff. I don't think I even wrote down what I'm using. But they're just leftovers, I think.
I feel like that's, I mean, not that that technically counts as an archive cal, but it's in the spirit of the archive cal to use leftovers or stash or whatever. Old stash. Leftovers.
I suppose. Okay, you can't sit on my lap. There's no lap. I'm sorry. Go sleep.
Sushi
go
is
sleep.
the clingiest cat ever. She loves her mommy.
Okay, and my last whip that I've actually worked on is my Folklore Cardigan by Amy Gunderson. And this is the other cabled project that I've been working on. And last time we spoke, I said that I was just about to split for the front. So I finished one front. And before I started that, finish the front, I did drop down the underarm stitch, the middle of the underarm. I dropped it all the way down and picked it up with a hook. And for that faux seam.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera what the faux seam looks like. It's right here.
I know you told me how the faux seam is done, but will you tell me again?
Okay, so you drop down all the way down to the bind off. I mean the cast on. I didn't drop it quite down that far because I didn't want to. Oops. So I dropped it down to a couple of stitches above the cast on, and when you pick the stitches back up, instead of picking the stitches up one at a time, which would just be regular knitting, you would pick them up like in one row. You pick up one stitch, and the next row you pick up 2 stitches, and then you just alternate all the way up.
How do you pick up 2 stitches?
Two bars, because you'll have the bars of yarn, the loops or the bars, and you just grab 2, and then you have 2 for your working, and then the next one you grab 1, and then in between, before I grab the next stitch, I twisted the stitch, and then I grab.
Okay, so they're twisted and 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, that's what I did. I think you can do one or the other, but I did both.
Yeah,
just so it's an extra firm seam.
Yeah.
But this thing is so big, it's not like it's gonna make that much of a difference in the fit, because it is it's oversized.
Yeah.
So so I finished the right side, and right now I'm working on the left side. And I haven't gotten that much done. Just a few inches up here. After that, I will be working on the back. So it's very long, or I should say, it's very wide right now.
Yeah.
And so it's very hard to. It's very hard to work on, like in public.
And so you're just doing it without the stripe.
Yeah, there's no stripe on the hem or the sleeves.
Yeah. Every once in a while when I'm walking around, I think I see a cardigan that's the Folklore Cardigan, and I always try and see like, is there stars on it? Because if there's stars on it, then they've bought it. And if there isn't, I'm like, ooh, can they make that? Does somebody make that? And then I start to doubt myself. I'm like, is that the Folklore Cardigan, or is that just another cabled cardigan that looks similar?
That looks like it.
Yeah. Because that's, the only thing that it's always the stripes first that I'm like, ooh, it's got stripes and it's cable. I'm like, and then I look closer. I'm like,
Well, one way to tell is that central, the central cable in the middle of the back.
Yeah. The diamonds.
It goes pretty wide, and the cable itself is pretty skinny, and inside the cable there's the moss stitch.
Right. I see. Oh, did you mess that up on Madeline's?
Yes, I messed it up on Madeline's, where I seed stitched the sleeves, but just the edges of the sleeves.
I see.
But the patterning was fine. It was just the outer edges of the sleeve. So you can't. It's like under the arm. It's really hard to notice. You really have to know what you're looking for to notice that it's wrong. So yeah, maybe I'll finish this by the end of summer. Yeah, that's all the knitting I have.
Nice.
We have our BuzzFeed quiz. I haven't done yet.
Which is very not weather appropriate because it's about ice cream. But
it's not about ice cream. It's about froyo.
Froyo, sorry. Yeah, that's not as popular here. I feel like. I mean, you can get. Yeah, no, you get like gelato places. That's more popular, maybe like gelato, but not, especially not the do your own froyo within the sorry, I just
the build your own.
Yeah, without any context, my arm gestures in the air. That was
I'm not
me
sure after COVID if you're allowed to serve yourself.
So for anybody who doesn't know, is it still popular back home?
I don't have kids at home anymore, so I don't know.
I feel like
I've seen those businesses. They're still in business.
Where you go and it's like, build your own froyo, and then you've got like a wall of frozen yogurt dispenser things where you pull the lever and it comes out like the soft serve.
Yep.
And then you can you pick your different size bowl, and then you can. Did you do your own toppings, or do they do the toppings for you?
Well, do you do your own toppings? I don't know. Like and then when you guys were kids, you would do your own toppings.
At the end, you pay by weight.
Yeah.
How much ice cream? Yeah, you've served yourself. I still don't really understand what makes frozen yogurt froyo and not just soft serve.
Because it's yogurt. It's not like an ice cream product.
But it tastes not made out of. It tastes the same. Or is it a little bit more sour?
Yeah, it has that little tartness. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
that was long.
I mean, it's funny because whenever we went to that place, I never got my own. I would just get a large and I will share with you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I feel like you get whatever, but because it's you could try more things if it's a bigger cup. If it's a small cup, then you can only fit so much in that cup.
Yeah, I guess. Try all the flavors. But the quiz says, I know this sounds far-fetched, but order some froyo, and I'll tell you what your high school reputation was. And I definitely, as I was constructing my froyo, I was thinking, I wouldn't have actually ordered this, but I just picked things that I liked.
What did you get?
So my main ice cream. Oh, sorry. No, my result. My result. What? Yes. So I got the cool kid. Did you get something different?
So did I, but I was so not the cool kid.
Yeah, me neither. Do you want to read it? Want me to read it?
You can read it.
It says, it's safe to say you were quite the trendsetter in high school. Remember that Friday you showed up in your brand new leather jacket? Yeah, almost everyone had purchased one of their own by the following Monday. Whether you were cracking jokes with the teachers or lounging on the bleachers, other students were envious of your cool demeanor.
I want to know what the other ones are, but I was the band nerd. I
was totally gonna say you were the band geek, and I was the nerd. Just the
you were the math nerd,
plain nerd. Yeah.
So
maybe I'll try and I'll pick some different answers at the end to see if we could see what other things. Okay, so my base flavor, I think you picked chocolate. You didn't?
No, it's like whenever I pick something where I have to put stuff on it, I always pick vanilla.
Okay.
Because I can always put chocolate on top of it.
Yeah, true. Okay, I picked vanilla as well. Although I feel like your options were vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, or orange sorbet. I feel like the orange sorbet is a weird option. But I guess...
Yeah. I don't know. They wanted 4. So.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your swirl in another flavor then?
Pineapple sorbet.
Pineapple sorbet. I went for pistachio.
But is a swirl?
Yeah, the pictures are of things. So like, there's pictures of a pineapple, like chunks, and pictures of pistachios. But I think,
they probably mean like a pistachio flavor.
Yeah. Because the pineapple's picture of pineapple chunks, but it says pineapple sorbet. So I'm assuming it's pistachio froyo.
Oops.
Yeah, I find I never really would have had pistachio flavored things like as a kid or anything, but I like pistachio. It's not a very strong flavor though. Did you put nuts on yours?
No, I don't like nuts in my ice cream / froyo.
Oh, for peanuts. Because I do like peanuts on, like ice cream.
I like nuts.
Like, stick cone things that have been like rolled in peanuts. Like, I like that.
Oh yeah, I can pass on the peanuts. I don't like ice cream in my. No, I don't like nuts in my ice cream, but I do like nuts in other things. It's just one of those weird things. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip down.
Did you pick anything fruity?
Oh, yeah. So see, this is where everything started to break down. I went for strawberries, but I kind of thought if I had already gotten vanilla, pistachio, and peanuts, I probably wouldn't then put more fruit on it. But I like strawberries, so I picked strawberries.
Oh, okay. I picked mangoes because I love mangoes.
Yeah.
They didn't have mango flavored
sorbet
froyo because that's what I would have picked.
And then did you put something else sweet on top?
No, I didn't like the options. Gummy worms.
Not even cookie dough
and marshmallow. I don't like cookie dough.
What? You don't like cookie dough?
No, you guys love cookie dough. I would always like.
Do you remember that place in Naperville? That cookie dough ice cream bar? Literally, it was like you would go in and half the tubs were ice cream flavors and the other half were cookie dough flavors. And then you could like literal scoops of cookie dough. Okay. Okay, the last one, final touch. Rainbow sprinkles, cherry, chocolate sprinkles, whipped cream. Yep, same. Whipped cream. Okay. So we had some that were the same. Quickly, what do you think a band geek would pick? I don't know if that's an option.
I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna try large.
Pick chocolate.
Because
I did pick a small.
Cake batter. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go big and just extra sweet. Okay, extra large. Chocolate, cake batter. No nuts. Peaches. Gummy worms. Peanut butter. And the rainbow sprinkles. Oh, the jock. Also not us. Okay, well, one of them has to be the nerd, I feel like.
So when you guys were little, there was always the mommy tax. Like I wouldn't get anything, but I would take a bite out of everybody's.
I know what you don't like. Mint chocolate chip. I know you don't like that.
No, I do like mint. Your dad doesn't like mint chocolate chip.
Dang it.
Your dad doesn't like mint chocolate chip. So at Cold Stone, Madeline would purposely get cotton candy ice cream with gummy worms because she knew that I would like no thank you.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then she would avoid the mommy tax. Well, so too smart for her own britches.
I have my Edinburgh ice cream recommendation. Allendas has very good gelato, but Mary's Milk Bar, which I feel like we must have taken you at some point, but maybe not. They're on Grassmarket, so like under the castle, and they do very interesting flavors, and they change them like very frequently. So they've had like black sesame before. I think there was like a burnt peach and basil, or maybe just burnt peach. I don't know. Basil and
I would want just like a bite and honey.
Yeah, I think they give you like samples and stuff because they know they're unusual flavors. I think probably getting a sample of every single one would push it a bit beyond. So I almost always I'll go for something a little bit unusual, and sometimes I'm like, now I just wish I'd just gone for something that I just knew I would have liked, but.
No, I don't think you've ever brought me there. And I don't think we'll have time to go a whole lot of places because I'm only going to be with you for a week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to Perth for one day. And then I'm supposed to be painting. I'm going to be there painting.
I'll be painting too. I'm not just putting my mother to work.
Well, I figured I can do a lot of work while you're working, for on your day job.
Yeah. Cool. So, do you have any FOs?
I don't have an FO. We do have a short Mommypedia,
But not from
or
me.
Yarny, but not from you. So one of my knitting friends from Virginia asked me how I organize my old magazines to find patterns, since I'm working on the Hand in Hand, which is from 2008, and then that hat that I made was from 2017 or something like that. Quick answer is Ravelry.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first got Ravelry, I entered all of my physical library into my own Ravelry page,
library,
my own Ravelry library, and then I was pretty good about entering the new magazines as I was subscribing, and books too. But I don't really buy that many books, physical books or magazines anymore. So there's not much to keep up. But since I originally put them all in, they're all in there. So, but so if you don't have Ravelry, or if you can't use Ravelry, I'm not sure what you would do. But I know for a fact that Interweave, when I used to subscribe, you can get the app, and then you can search for something, and then it'll tell you which magazine it is, and then you can see, oh, do I have that magazine? So that's one thing. I don't know if other magazines do that. So that's the quick answer, and that's that. So that was from Kelly in Virginia, and I am all out of talking stuff.
Me too.
I do. Go ahead.
No,
what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
I have shop talk though.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I do have shop talk. I have been sewing because I wasn't able to knit because my hands were hurting so badly. I finished this Paris bag recently, and it's from a tea towel, so there's only one.
So cute. It's got
a customer had asked about a Paris bag, and so she's already bought the other one, and so I only had enough to make 2 bags. So that's my Paris bag, and I'm also working on these guys, which I haven't taken pictures of, but they are kitty cats with antique sewing machines, and it's really cute.
Antique sewing machines and other haberdashery bits,
machines and other
buttons, and
other thread and needles, and
kind of like
being very naughty,
vaguely watercolor style.
Yeah, there's no borders.
Yeah,
right.
Cute.
So that's what I've been working on. So that's my and by the way, my shop is Pearl and Plum on Etsy. So if you search for Pearl and Plum on Etsy, you can find me. And I did post or list a bunch of bags that I had sold out on. So some of the stuff that
relisted
with sheep on it, that I try to keep in stock, but sometimes they sell out really fast. I don't get a chance to make just old favorites. And that's all I have. Oh, there's the cat again. Little cat cameo.
Cool. Well, actually, I should probably mention, we kind of alluded to it, the fact that you were going to be here and we were going to be in Perth. I'm going to be at the Scottish Wool Producer Showcase on the 25th of March, I think it is, the Saturday, and completely on accident, I can't remember if we mentioned already, my mom's going to be there too, again. So this is the second time she'll be at Perth for a yarn show, and I'll be selling issue 4 of Merit, which will technically be a few days in advance of the official on sale date. So if you didn't manage to get a pre-order a copy, you can pick one up there.
Oh, cool. And you can see all of the
samples.
Samples, yes, thank you. Words.
Yes, that's probably like the best part. So even if you have bought your copy already, which thank you in advance, being able to see the samples in person, I feel like is one of the big benefits of stopping by the stand. because they're all great and you can feel them and touch them.
Yeah, maybe we'll be wearing some. I know I can't wear any of them because they're made so small.
So you can
maybe a
little
shawl.
Scarves. Yeah, we can each do a slice of life scarf because there's 2 of them.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll be fun. And also, want to mention our archive KCAL. If you are participating, don't forget to post your project on Ravelry, either in the archive KCAL feed. What is it called?
Thread.
In the group, yeah. Or if you're posting it on Instagram, use hashtag archive KCAL, KCAL 2023 in there, so we can see what you're doing. So we do have a few people posting on Ravelry, and it's getting it. I love seeing all the projects that people are working on.
Yeah,
that's great.
Cool.
I don't think we're all done.
Okay.
Spiel away.
You can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram, also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Allison here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can subscribe and like and comment and rate and review and thumbs up and favorite on YouTube or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Our Ravelry group is Keep Calm and Carry On Podcast. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn.
Bye.
Bye.